Alright, we have here Craftsman S205 20-inch bar, 46cc. Found it on Marketplace. This one was about close to half an hour away. The biggest thing was the case. So the guy had the saw, complete saw. I mean, everything's there. Looks decent, and it's actually a 2020, so it's not really, doesn't have that much time ran on it supposedly. And the story behind it is he got it. Someone owed him money for a job he done. They had the saw. It had a minor problem according to them, so they gave it to him as part of what they owed him. So he threw it on Marketplace for 20 bucks and said he never used it, didn't even attempt to fix it. He just got tired of it sitting around. So I went ahead, bought it, seen it on Marketplace. As soon as he agreed to hold it for me until I got off work the next day. She sent me a picture. You can see here. Here's the rubber boot here that's supposed to go on the end of the plug wire. According to him, they went to do the guy had it before him, went to do a tune-up on it. They went to pop the wire and it came off. So I told him that all it needs is a coil and it'd be a runner. But you know, naturally, he couldn't guarantee it. So as soon as I knew he was going to hold it, automatically got online, ordered a coil for it, kind of jumped the gun. And usually if I get them like that and it comes with a case, I usually don't mess with them until I get them home, and then they usually do have problems. This one, I think I jumped the gun anyway, ordered coils for it. Well, ended up being a 2-pack, but I'll show you how to get to the coil. Got our top off. It's got a decent air filter set up. But get this off. Got the screws out already. I'll show you the coil setup here. Get the side off. That's what it is there. Craftsman S205. It's pretty decent shape, I guess. I mean, as far as the plastic's concerned, but you know that don't mean much if it don't run, right? So what you got is, get it in the light there. So here's your coil setup. This one's actually pretty neat. It's Allen head, 5/32. So you got your wire right here. If I can get it in the light, this comes around and down. It runs up to your switch. Shut your saw off. Comes down, runs around to the coil. Just pull it off. So it's saying you got two Allens. They're Allen heads. Spin your flywheel around to where your metal is away from the coil because of the magnetics. Stick to it. This is a pretty cool setup. Got the 2 screws. Get them loose, it'll pop right out. But what's pretty neat is, because most of them, when you do it, you gotta get your filler gauges, set it to whatever the requirement is for the gap. Get that out of there, and then you know go from there. There we go. It's got a notch that is pretty neat. So you just flip this end up, but you got your metal plate right here. See if I can show you. So you got to tilt your coil up. Sets in there flat, so you can see your metal plate right here. If I can get it in there. It just has a groove. It's where your spark plug wire is. Goes right underneath it. So just lift this end up. Pops right out. Not a problem. These coils are cheap too. There we go. Now it's not a problem. So, crazy cat. So now here's the coil that was on it. You can see how it's missing the rubber boot on the end. Got online. Same night before you even look at the side, I was saying, I just kind of jumped the gun on it. I should have knew better, but they had 2 of them online. 13 bucks. Come with the new cable, the new wires run up to the switch if you need them. I ain't going to mess with putting them in. But what I thought was pretty neat, instead of having to use filler gauges to adjust this, it's notched out. If I can pick that up right there. So right here's where your coil sets. It's just perfect. So your new coil, get that wire off of it since we ain't going to use it. Maybe that's only pretty good. my mind. Yeah, maybe we'll be stuck using it. It won't want to come off. There we go. So it'll be the same way how it is right here. Just dip it down in there. Sits down flat. Put your 2 screws back in, no adjustments. That's kind of neat. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but we'll get the coil in it anyway. But I'm pretty positive it has other issues, because I got it. Didn't have a spark plug in it, and had everything there, no spark plug in it. But first thing I done was got home, put a plug in it, and it's got compression, but it's like really, really weak compression. So here's our white wire, goes underneath. There we go. Hook it right up to your coil right there. And I need some better lighting up here. So there we go. Takes care of that. Here's your plug wire. So once that's hooked up, you have right here on this rubber, there's a notch for the plug wire. Sets in like so, and the top goes on before the side goes on. So you got your top. This one, I had it off once looking at it. It was a little finicky trying to get it to go back on, but like everything on this saw is like a precise fit. It's the only one I have is like really temperamental. It's got to be like dead on for your plastic to go. So there's our plastic. So the plastic top's on. You get this plug wire where you can see it. So now there's the plug wire, but here's where your plug sets, straight in the top naturally. But you have, which I probably should have put it on before putting the plastic on, this is the rubber that sets in the plastic. It was off when I got it, so hopefully it'll just pop right on. It's got grooves in it, only goes on one way. So let's see if we can get that sucker to pop on there. Yep, pretty as you please. So it sets in place. Probably be easier to do with the plastic cover off, honestly. This goes down in like so. Now, well, I was wondering, yeah, so get our plug wire in, or plug wire, spark plug in. It's the first design I've had like this. Pretty neat. Wish it was a runner. Honestly don't think it is, but so here we go. Goes like so. There's our bottom. So now the rubber's in place. The boot for the spark plug wire. It's got, you can see it's got ridges on it. This goes right on like so. The rubber sleeve that slides right up over top of the boot. So now it's on. Everything's good. You got your plastic piece. This cover goes on. Now we gotta get our plug wire to move over a little bit. There we go. Like so. Then the air filter is kind of neat. It's kind of cheesy looking, but it's kind of neat. Here's your vents. It's got the 4 vents. It's got a rubber gasket. So where the hole is, right here in the center, there's a hole in the bottom. Here's your stud. Slides in like so, clips in place. And where is my cover? Here it is. Here's our plastic cover. It has the starting instructions on it. This goes right back in place. Screws down. and you're back in business. It's that easy. Throw your sides on right here. Yep, get our wire back up in there. Oh, I think it popped out. There's a rubber grommet in there for the spark plug wire to set in. I think it popped out of it, but I'll fix that later. So this is our pull string. Make sure your black piece is on the back. And there we go. Put your screws back in. There's 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Put those back in, and you're in business. But this one, I am pretty sure we're going to take a look real quick since we're this far. So what I'm wanting to do, I looked down through the spark plug hole up here when I had it all apart. Couldn't really see much. What I'm wanting to see is behind the muffler. So that is, you got multiple screws here. These are 5/32. You got the 2 nuts. That's where the studs are. Oh, that's right. This is the baffle, or not the baffle. This is where the spark screen is, right here behind this piece. You got 2 Phillips screws. So you have to take them out to get to this other nut on this side. So I want to take a little peek at the cylinder in there from this side and see how worn out it is before I want to take it any farther. But like I said, I just bought it for the case. I mean, it was only 20 bucks. The coils were only, you got 2 coils for 13. Yep, so there's your spark screen. So the case alone was worth it. It's around here. So I tell you guys multiple times when we find these kind of deals, you're paying just for a used case, you're looking at $35 or better. And you got 2 Allen heads, 5/32. So I'm kind of surprised it's wore out. Well, they're only, if you read on your saw, the working hours on these are like 50 hours or something like that. So it's got 4 years on it, so it's very, very possible it's just been used and abused. Wouldn't be the first one I came across like that. Alright, so there's our muffler. Yeah, I have to cover it back off, I think. Probably should have just left it off. But I didn't tighten the screws up, so it'll only take a second. So get this off. Air filter. Spark plug. Man, it is a tight fit. So I'm telling you, this top is very, very finicky on how it wants to go on. It is a really tight fit. Okay. So there we go, and that's a hogging muffler. This thing is huge. And that's where it feels like it weighs over a pound. So what I'm wanting to do, take a little peeky peek in there at the cylinder and see what we got. And I'm hoping it's not real. Oh yeah. See, it's scarred up real bad. I don't know if I can get you guys in there to see that or not. I'll try, but it's like the ring itself is about toasted. Let me see. I'll try to get you in there where you can see it. See if I can get some light on it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Trust me, it's beat up. The rings, it's got 2 rings. It's a 2-ring piston, and it's ate up pretty good. There's a lot of bad scars going across both rings, across the side of the piston. So I mean, let's give it a little turn, see what we got. So there's the side of the piston. If you guys can see it, it is scarred up pretty good. From the spark plug hole, if you're looking into it, you can't see none of that. Yeah, that spot's even worse. So there's some pretty deep grooves in there going from top to bottom on that piston. So That explains the compression issue. So now it's a what do you do with it deal. So I did look, and I'll show you if it's still on my phone. I did look at possibly getting a overhaul kit for this, and you got to have the exact model number off the saw, but they range anywhere. It's like this one's here at the top of the page is 2689, and some of the other ones I was looking at, like this one's 30. Kind of depends on what brand you go with and what style kit you want. It's like this one's 37.99, and they come with everything you need basically. I mean, minus the carburetor, but majority of them, like this one here, if it shows it, it's you can kind of see it there. So you just got your random kits that come with complete overhaul kit. That one's $37.99. You could have it. If I wanted to buy it right now, it's $37.99. I could have it delivered by Saturday, August 3rd. But I don't know if I actually want to drop that much into this saw, or just save it for a part saw. So that's the dilemma there, because it was, you know, I'm not upset that it has an issue. I mean, because like I was saying, I was after the case. So for me, a saw like this, I throw them back together. I'll keep it complete, sitting on a shelf, use the case for another saw, and then somewhere along the line, if I come across another one or another brand, because you get like multiple brands are designed the same way. So I might come across one that's dirt cheap with something stupid wrong with it, you know, that I could use this saw for parts. And it's just how it goes. It's he tried to start it. We took the old coil that was on it, was still throwing spark. We used a pair of vice grips and took where's that old coil at? Here it is. Took the old coil. That's why it's cut down on the end. It was flat across, so we shaved it down to get some wire out of it. Had it installed, but it was still on it. We stuck it up there and took a small pair of vice grips, and get it to where you can see it, but we took a small pair of vice grips, clamped it to the spark plug. Well, first we done it to a plug, make sure it was getting spark, it was done spark. So we put the plug in the cylinder, clamped it back on, tried everything we could try to get this thing to start. 2-cycle fresh, it had a little bit of gas in it. We flushed the tank, put fresh gas in it. Tried priming the carb off the primer, no luck. Emptied the chamber out, make sure there's no fuel in it, primed it through the carb, still nothing. I didn't even try to bark the life. So drained the cylinder out again, and went ahead and tried to actually, you know, like legit starting fluid like you use on a car or a truck. Hit it with that, nothing. And as the more you pulled, the less compression you got. So as we was pulling on it, it just kept getting easier and easier to pull. So it definitely has a issue in the cylinder, compression wise. We're still throwing spark, I mean, but it's just one of those deals. But like I was saying, I was just after the case, but we ended up with a really, really nice parts unit out of this, because I mean, it is complete. I mean, it's like complete. It's not missing anything. It's a complete saw. So it needed to be, if I get bored, spend the extra money, just go ahead and replace it. Just get a what they call a top end kit for it, and maybe redo it. But I don't know. I don't know if it's really worth the money, because if you do that, investment wise, because saws, I usually don't keep them unless they're like old ones. A lot of times I just get rid of them. If someone needs them, y'all just let them have them. You know, after I make a YouTube video of them doing repairs, or some of them I sold. But if you was like this one, if you was wanting to sell it, so I gave 20 for it, and the coil set was another 13, so there's 33. So with the overhaul kit, I'd probably get the good one, so you'd be looking at another 40 bucks at least. So you're looking at, you know, 70 some dollars. If you just wanting to sell it, they have these. I looked on Marketplace at ones that run, and found them on there anywhere from $80 to $125, like brand new with a case. So it's teach their own. to me personally, it wouldn't be worth it to invest all that money and time into it and then sell it for, you know, you'd be lucky if you broke even anyway. When I can save it, keep it for a parts unit, I might be able to salvage something off of like carburetor or whatever for something else. But anyway, that's how you do the coil install. Pretty basic, easy to do. The flywheels on these are easy to do. Just take the nut off. It's pretty cool setup actually. I mean, even if you had to change a flywheel on one of these, because the holes are already pre-drilled, just take the nut off, put your puller on there, pops right off, and you know, it's simple. It's a really simple setup. China's finest is what it comes down to. It's all, you know, assembled overseas, sent to us, and it's built cheap. This one is nice though because it is all aluminum. Yeah, I mean, it's everything. It is a nice setup. It's cheap, but it's a nice setup. But it'd been nice as a simple fix like a coil, and this thing would be a runner, but no such luck. But anyhow, that takes care of the coil install. But nice little saw. Just wish it would run, but can't win them all. But we wasn't going for a start or will it run video. This is just, you know, the coil install and how it goes. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you at the next one, and we decide to go ahead and overhaul it. We'll make a video of it, show you how simple it is. It is really easy if you're willing to invest the money in it. Alright, thanks for watching.